I don't think Americans really understand what happened in January in Greenland, in Denmark, which is that because of things the president said and because of things the Danes saw in their intelligence picked up, the Danes became convinced that it was really possible that the U.S. would invade Greenland. And I know it's kind of a joke subject here and people don't take it too seriously, but think about what that meant for the Danes. So they had to say, all right, Americans are invading. Are we going to shoot down American planes? Are we going to shoot at American soldiers? And they had to go through the mental exercise of getting ready to do that. And meanwhile, especially their closest allies in Scandinavia, Germany, and so on, also went, okay, well, if this happens, what are the consequences for the economy, for NATO? It's catastrophic. And then it didn't happen, because President Trump pulled away from it and he made a speech at Davos where he, dismissed it and said that's not happening. And everybody calmed down and, the markets recovered and we stopped talking about it. But I spent a week in Copenhagen in February and they were pretty traumatized. It was the experience of feeling that your closest ally in Denmark is actually unusually integrated with the U.S. more so than many other European countries. They have a lot of big Danish companies have investments here and so on. And there's a kind of national trauma. It's like discovering that, I don't know, your best friend has cheated on you. I mean, it was a shock from which they haven't recovered. And so there has been some level of trust has broken down. But again, I want to add the nuance that underneath that, there are these hundreds and hundreds, millions actually, of other relationships and transactions that continue.